Hello guys, today in this video, we are going to help you to find out the best cellular trail cameras in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 9. Moultrie Mobile Delta Base. Moultrie has always been a strong contender in the trail camera market, especially when it comes to the cellular variety. They've always been relatively easy to use compared to others, and the Moultrie mobile platform is one of the best plans around, both in terms of functionality and pricing. The Delta Base Cam is new for 2022, and it's a dramatic improvement over the previous Delta Cam, with improvements in image quality, night vision, trigger speed, and improved wireless signal strength with the new external Cell Boost trademark antenna. The fact that it retails for less than $100 and has a 24MP resolution, full HD video recording with audio, and an 80-foot invisible LED flash range is kind of unbelievable. It just goes to show that cellular game cameras are becoming more affordable than ever. Another interesting thing to note is that the Delta Base cellular game camera is good for those who want to set up multiple cams on their property. Not just because each individual camera is cheap, but because Moultrie offers a $34.99p/m Pro Series Unlimited plan, which allows you to transmit unlimited images across unlimited Moultrie wireless trail cameras. Overall, this is easily the best value cellular trail camera around right now. The SpyPoint Link S Dark is still a slightly superior camera overall because of its ridiculously fast 0.07s trigger speed, an advantage of almost 0.7 seconds, but for many, it will be difficult to justify the extra cost when the new Moultrie Mobile Delta Base is this good. Number 8. Arlo Go 2. While it might not be designed specifically for wildlife watching, the Arlo Go 2 is a cellular security camera which will certainly spot animals wandering near it. Since it can connect to Arlo's remote monitoring software, app or web tool, it is easy to view events, and to initiate two-way talk. Settings can also be changed remotely, for example switching from black and white night vision to illuminating subjects with its floodlight. The battery life is lower than most of the dedicated cameras, though it can be charged via a magnetic connector from below and a solar adapter is available. As we said, this might not be a trail camera as such, but if your trail and your hunter's cabin need remote monitoring for security as well as animals, then there is much to be said for this approach. See our full Arlo Go 2 review. There is a large and growing market for smart security cameras, but most require a wired or Wi-Fi internet connection. Arlo addressed this with the original Arlo Go, a cellular camera which you could place near your barn, boathouse, or caravan or garage and still expect connectivity. Perhaps you can cover your side hustle and home with a unified Arlo system. Even though most of their competitors have yet to catch up, the Arlo Go 2 refines that camera's promise with dual Wi-Fi and cellular connectivity, plus a higher resolution and a sleek look to match Arlo's current XL range. In the USA, the Go 2 is sold in bundles by Verizon. The Arlo Go 2 from BT, with or without an accompanying SIM card. Number 7. StealthCam DS4K. The DS4K isn't the cheapest trail camera, but it doesn't disappoint on features either. Many cellular cameras take the view that 4K video is difficult to transmit by 4G per LTE connections, so the feature is left out entirely. Here the camera can still record them locally even if it only sends 1080p or a sample GIF via its cellular connection. Previews can be seen in the Command Pro app, and images are stamped with time, date and moon data. Setup isn't a painful process either, all that is required is a QR code scan and following steps. The camera's stills, there are two 16-megapixel sensors for different light conditions, can be caught in a burst of 9 images per triggering, and the device houses 6 850nm LEDs. Placing in a location for any length of time will need lithium batteries, and it's worth remembering that the reliable sensing zone is closer to 60 feet/20 m. Number 6. SpyPoint Cell Link. This cube-like chunk is big enough to house 8 AA cells and the 4G LTE tech to turn any existing trail camera into a cellular one. Naturally, the manufacturers would prefer your original was a SpyPoint too, but they're not picky. In theory, at least any camera which uses an SD card, and that seems to be most, should do the trick. An SD-like adapter at the end of a flat cable must be negotiated through the weatherproofing of your original device and inserted into the SD slot. Connect virtually any trail camera to the cell link to turn it into a cellular device. Not just SpyPoint cameras, but cameras from virtually any manufacturer, as long as the camera uses a standard SD card to store images. Easily concealed, the cell link is remarkably small, and literally fits in the palm of your hand. Pairing the cell link with your host camera won't sacrifice the concealment of your non-cellular trail camera, but still manages to transmit your images. Nothing impacts the game you hunt more than human pressure. Moving your scouting camera strategy to a cellular approach allows you to visit your hunting areas less, thereby reducing the stress on the animals that live there. Number 5. Browning Defender. Here's another great cellular trail camera that offers a lot to like. Once the 16 batteries have been slotted into the back of this, it forms a chunky unit, which means you can be confident that the power-hungry cellular radio circuitry will last a decent while. Open the door and the backlit 4-way menu button and on-screen menu make setup straightforward. And of course, it also serves as a real viewfinder when positioning. Ace. Video enthusiasts will appreciate the system's ability to monitor and keep recording subjects which keep moving, while photographers will love the resolution compared to some of the more game-orientated options. Those operating in busier areas will appreciate the optional security box too. Number 4. SpyPoint Link Micro LTE. At a significantly lower price point than others, the Link Micro LTE is a device well suited for those who want to get several lenses in the same area and keep an eye on the movements of bigger animals, for research or game management. SpyPoint's app certainly doesn't neglect location data coming from the cameras, or taking advantage of other available data, like weather services, but ultimately this is just as suited for strapping around trees and sending back images via a 4G LTE network as the Link S Dark above. You'll need to change the batteries more, though. The Link Micro LTE offers a not only cutting-edge camera performance, but it is also where you can access the tools and features that make SpyPoint the mobile scouting solution. If you've looked at cellular cameras in the past, but thought they were too expensive, the Link Micro LTE has completely changed expectations of cellular trail cameras. Ultra-compact design, the Link Micro LTE is remarkably small for any trail camera, but even more so when you consider it as a cellular camera. This design makes the Link Micro LTE easy to conceal, and keeps wary eyes from spotting the camera. Nothing impacts the game you hunt more than human pressure. Moving your scouting camera strategy to a cellular approach allows you to visit your hunting areas less, thereby reducing the stress on the animals that live there. No longer do we need to trade knowing what's happening for the lack of human presence. Number 3. Moultrie Mobile Delta Base. If you're planning on running a cellular trail camera, you normally need to be prepared to pay extra for image storage, a cloud service, and, of course, for the cellular data account. Moultrie have adopted a different approach, offering those aspects within their power for no extra charge. You'll still need to fork out for cellular coverage, but cloud storage and species recognition are bundled with the very reasonably priced camera. With 24 megapixels and an adequate trigger speed of 0.7 SEC, there is no real compromise on the core specifications either. HD video with audio is also recorded. Admittedly, there isn't a solar panel in the box, like the SpyPoint Link Micro, another fine budget choice, but a solar accessory is available. Number 2. Bushnell Cellular 30. The Cellular 30 is a relatively new trail camera from Bushnell, upping resolution from the previous Cellular 22, you guessed it, 30MP. This automatically puts it streets ahead of the vast majority of other trail cameras, so while this does make files larger and means you have to think about storage and transfers, it also gives you a lot more detail in your images. Equipped with night vision and a 100-foot no-glow flash, the Cellular 30 also captures full HD video at a super smooth 60 frames per second. The only real drawback to the Cellular 30 is that as it's relatively new, it's less available than others, especially outside of the US. We'd expect that to change as time goes on. In the meantime, the Cellular 20 is also worth considering. Number 1. SpyPoint Link S Trail Camera. The SkyPoint Link S is our pick as the best cellular trail camera overall. The integrated lithium battery and solar panel give you potentially unlimited battery life, depending on how much sunshine you get, and will save you an awful lot of trips to keep topping it up. It's usually supplied with a pre-activated SIM card too, although you'd be wise to check the running costs with either Verizon or AT&T before signing up to a plan. More broadly, this is a great trail camera, with a 0.07s trigger, claimed to be the fastest on market, a 12MP sensor, 42 LEDs, and a 100-foot flash range. Advanced features include blur reduction and IR boost, HD video plus sound, a 100-foot detection distance and 2-inch view screen. You can add an SD card up to 32 GB, although note that this is not included.